Good day to you, children, and welcome to today's session. In today's class, we will study about the cell organization, the outer cover of the cell, and some of the cell organelles. Now, cell organelles are the term given to the components inside the cell. The cell has got a outer cover. If it is an animal cell, it has got an outer cover of cell membrane. If it is a plant cell, in addition to cell membrane, the cell has got a cell wall made up of cellulose. So these two components, cell wall and cell membrane, are going to be studied separately. And you have got cytoplasm inside the cell in which the cell organelles are embedded. Cell organelles are what are seen within the cell. So we can define the cell organelles as special components of the cell which perform different functions of the cell. Examples of cell organelles will include nucleus, plastids, mitochondria, vacuole, endoplasmic reticulum, etc. We will have first a study on what is the plasma membrane. Plasma membrane or cell membrane is present both in plant cell and animal cell. It is the outer cover of the cell that separates the contents of the cell from the external environment. The plasma membrane is selectively semi-permeable. You must have learned this term in your last session. Selective permeability means it allows only some materials to pass through the cell, the others are blocked by the cell membrane. The cell membrane is made up of proteins and lipids. The cell wall is a component of the cell which is restricted only to the plant cell. The rigid outer covering beyond the cell membrane forms the cell wall. It is composed of cellulose. It gives strength, rigidity, and shape to the cell. The nucleus is the first organelle you're going to study. The nucleus is the controlling organelle of the cell, like head of an organization who runs and maintains the system. Nucleus has got such a powerful position. It contains the chromosome which pass genetic material, or in other words DNA, from one cell to the other. DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid. This is the material with which the genetic material is formed. The nucleus contains a double membrane called the nuclear membrane and tiny pores called as the nuclear pores. Nucleus is filled with nucleoplasm and a rigid substructure called nucleolus. Depending on the presence of the nucleus and the organization of nucleus, the cell are divided into two types, the prokaryotes and the eukaryotes. The prokaryotes are the organisms which do not have a well-organized nucleus. The nuclear material is very rudimentary and restricted to some amount of acids. Chromosomes are single and membrane-bound organelles are absent. In eukaryotes, there is a well-organized nucleus surrounded by a nuclear membrane. There are more than one chromosomes and membrane-bound organelles are present. The cytoplasm is the fluid content inside the cell in which the cell organelles float. The cytoplasm plus the nucleus is called as protoplasm. Nucleus plus cytoplasm is called as protoplasm. The next organelle you are going to study is called endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is a network of membrane-bound tubes leading from the nucleus. The nucleus is attached with the ER, it is attached with the endoplasmic reticulum in the forms of tubes and vesicles. There are two types of ERs, the smooth ER and the rough ER. Smooth ER do not have ribosomes attached to them. Rough ER has got ribosomes attached to them. The rough ER is involved in making proteins. The smooth ER makes fat molecules and lipids. And this process together is called as membrane biogenesis. They are involved in formation of biological membranes. ER serves as a channel for transport of materials between the cytoplasm and the nucleus. So it is involved in carrying materials from the nucleus, carrying materials to the nucleus. ACR plays an important role in detoxification of drugs and poisons. The next organelle is Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus consists of system of membrane-bound vesicles. The vesicles here are membrane-bound and they are stacked parallel to each other known as cisterns. The vesicles are involved in storage, packaging and modification of materials in the cell. Also, it is involved in the formation of lysosomes. Lysosome is another organelle which we will study in your next class.